Hi again, I am Professor Jimmy. Welcome to the video series of Critical Thinking in the Age of Social Media. And today I want to discuss for just a few minutes the Toulmin model of argumentation. There's a lot of different models that we can follow when creating arguments. I like to follow what's called the Toulmin model because I believe it most closely resembles the way we intuitively argue in everyday life, whether we realize it or not. That's the way we argue, and I'll explain that in just a second. This was developed by theorist Stephen Toulmin and is adopted by many colleges and universities. Okay, first, any good argument that you're going to develop begins with a claim. And a claim is a single sentence statement of something that you're claiming to be true, claiming to be the case, okay, whatever it might be. There's three different types of claims, two of which I allow in my courses. The first type of claim is a claim of policy, meaning something should be mandated or legislated to become the case. Your college should become a non-smoking college, would be a claim of policy. A claim of value is you're claiming something to be superior or inferior, better or worse than something else. So a vegan lifestyle is superior to a non-vegan lifestyle. So a claim of value, something is better, you'll be happier if. Those are all values. The third type of claim that you can make is a claim of fact. Something is the case. I don't allow my students to do claims of fact because they're easy. They're typically arguments that are far too easy to make or far too difficult to make. So you make one of these claims and it begins with that one sentence, clearly worded claim that's really free of emotional language. It just is you're stating that is the case. Then you start building the argument. And to build the arguments, you need grounds. In other words, what are the basic reasons why you make that claim? And in the way we construct our argument papers, there's three of those: 1 grounds, 2 grounds, 3 grounds. And each one of those grounds needs to have a backing, needs to have a reputable source behind each one. Then in the middle, so far we have the grounds here, we have the claim here, we need something that's going to bridge those two things, and that's what's called the warrant. And the warrant is the bridge that's going to connect the grounds with the claim. Okay, so let's give a very simple everyday example. You want to make the claim that In-N-Out hamburgers are the best hamburgers in the country. Okay? So you tell me that. The first thing I'm going to say is, okay, great. Why? Why do you say that? What are your grounds for saying that? And you say, well, In-N-Out Burger uses fresh food on a daily basis. Okay? So maybe you're going to cite a study that shows that the meat that In-N-Out uses goes from factory to store in under 24 hours, okay? And you're gonna have a source that's going to cite that. Okay, so you say they have fresh meat. Now, we need to connect those two things. And oftentimes when we connect the grounds with the warrant, we have to go outside the specifics of that argument and give kind of the general overarching reasoning behind it. So then I could ask you this, okay, so they have fresh food, so what? Who cares they have fresh food? How does that create the argument? Well, when you answer that question, how does that make the argument? You're really creating the warrant, okay? So you're saying, well, most consumers prefer fresh food, or fresh food has been shown in studies to be a healthier alternative than food that is not fresh. So in other words, you see what I'm doing here? I'm not talking about In-N-Out burgers. I'm not even talking about hamburgers. I'm just talking about fresh food because that's what you claimed in your ground. Okay, then I need to back that up, that people prefer fresh food or it's healthier, whatever it might be. Okay, so now I have the claim, I have the grounds, okay, with the backing, I have the warrant with the backing. Now, one last part, before I go back to the claim so I can make one complete claim, one complete reason to support that claim, I need to note if there are any exceptions, reservations, or qualifiers. In other words, is this going to be the case in every case? And one qualifier might be, well, if the In-N-Out burger store follows company protocol, that would be your qualifier. Or maybe there's one that is not a good In-N-Out burger for whatever reason because they live too far from any source of fresh food. So you say, well, with the exception of that one in so-and-so city. If an argument doesn't have any reservations, qualifiers, or exceptions, you're probably avoiding the elephant in the room because most arguments do. However, if they have too many, it's probably not a very good argument in the first place, so you got to be careful of that. So we just copied that 3 times. I went through a first reason, one, now we do a second one, and a third one.